Okay, so here we have a dual relay system, a MP1050 dual relay harness for the MagnaFuel 500 pump that we're going to use. This pump requires a dual relay. So we're going to go ahead and unpackage this. We're going to open it up. And I'll be honest, I've never hooked up a dual relay before. I've always hooked up one relay. And I could never remember the terminals. Laugh out loud. So I always got to go back to Google and just get the terminal numbers. That way I know what's positive, what's ground, what triggers, what don't. But here we have a dual relay. It already comes pretty much wired in. So what we're going to do is, actually we're going to cut this rubber band without cutting into the wire. I'm going to unwrap this wire here. These wires are a little stiff because we're in the garage and it's still kind of cold out here. I'm actually working on my regular vehicle. Got a fuel leak. I'm going to wait for the wife to get home because I need her vehicle to go to the auto parts store. So meanwhile, we decided to unpackage this dual relay harness up and take a look at it and see what we're looking at. So this up here is all said and done. Without a doubt, those are mounting brackets. I doubt those are grounds because they run into, they might be ground. Who knows? Maybe this thing's got to get grounded. But it's practically 2 blue wires, 2 orange wires, and 2 red wires. Okay? The instructions are here. It pretty much seems like it's a plug-and-play system. It says here, number 2, 14 gauge orange wire to ignition switch, which would be these 2 right here. And then we have gauge 10, which would be the red wires to main disconnect. Wonder why would this go to the main disconnect? And then we have the number 14 blue wire to red motor wire. So this one is going to go, the blue wire is going to go to the red wire on the motor. Red wire is going to go to main disconnect. And then the orange wire is going to go to the ignition. So it's pretty much cut and dry. Very simple to do. So when we're ready to mount them, we'll get back to you guys. Let's do one first. It's gonna go here to power. Okay, it's gonna go here. And this is gonna be where the relays are gonna go now. Right there. We're here, man. We're staying isolated, just from the house to the garage, from the garage to the house. Trying to get the car ready, even though that racing is definitely, as everybody know, will be postponed, you know. But trying to get a few things done. You know, at my previous videos, we were working on a fuel system, so that still has to get finalized. But we already got the position where the fuel pump's going to go in the filters and stuff like that. So what we're doing today is we're moving on to the nitrous hookup. I've had nitrous on this motor for many years. It got dyno tuned a couple of years back. Made some good horsepower to the rear wheels. The only problem is that in those couple of years that have passed by, I have not tried the nitrous. We've been running this car on motor, just on motor. So now that I'm going to run the feed line from the trunk all the way to the front of the car now, and the solenoids haven't been tested in such a long time, I'm going to individually test each solenoid, because of course we got a fogger system here, as you can tell, and it has 2 nitrous solenoids and 2 fuel solenoids. All right, because you have a bank on each side. Okay, so you have a fogger system here, fogger system over there. It's direct port injection nitrous system. What we're gonna do right now is, I got my probe here, and hopefully the circuit to this probe is strong enough. Hook this up to the battery, which the battery's right here. So as everybody knows, red is power and black is ground. I'm gonna go right back to the front, and I'm going to, let me see how I can do this, because I need to flip this sideways now. Okay, so we're gonna mount the camera here on my tripod. Okay, so we're gonna take the probe, and it doesn't really matter which side of the nitrous solenoid wires you pick for ground or power. It works either way. So we're gonna actually pick this one. We're hooking up to ground. So the ground, no worries with the ground touching anything. So then this would be the other one. Now I'm gonna feed power to it, and we should hear the relay clicking, the solenoid clicking. Okay, that's one nitrous solenoid working. Now let's try the next one, which I know they work, because it is a system that was rarely used, barely used. You know, it's pretty new, but it's been a couple of years. Here's the second one. Okay, the 2 front nitrous solenoids are working. Now we're going to try the rear nitrous solenoid. We'll try the far side first. I'm going to hook one ground here. Take the probe. We're going to feed it power. That's working. We'll check the next one. Feed it ground. Feed it power. Okay, so all 4 solenoids are actually functioning and they're working. So the next thing we're going to do is, I am going to run the feed line, which is right here. I have it on the floor. If you can see it right there, I want to make sure I have enough feed line to get from the trunk to where the bottles are, because the bottle is going to be here. There's the bottle brackets. We're going to run that line through there, and I'm actually going to run this through the inside of the car. I'm going to put it under the rug. So that's going to go on the inside of the car. And then we're going to feed it out to one of these holes here on the firewall with a grommet. It's going to be coming out of there. It's going to go under the intake. And it's going to hook up to here, which is the lines for the nitrous solenoid. We're going to hook this cutoff valve here on the nitrous line, which I'm going to have access to it from the inside of the car, because I am always at fear of leaking inside the intake, and then you know what happens with that, kaboom. So I don't ever want that to happen to me. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run the line as soon as I run the line and do the hookup, and then we'll get to wiring the nitrous system. We got to put a relay on there, which we have the nitrous relay here. Focusing, but I need this to focus. The solenoid in there. We have the micro switch already here. Okay, and then we're going to wire it up to the retard box. We can get 6 degrees timing out, because we're feeding this 175 shot of nitrous. Distribution 12 volt power block that we ordered, so I could finish that up. But for right now, I'm just going to run the lines and run the wiring system with the relay and get that all pretty much squared off. So stay tuned, man. I'll continue this video once we run these lines. Okay, so we have I kind of already made the hole where I want it to go, so this is the line that we're gonna. It's a little tight in here, but I want to show you guys. That's not the. This hole is not the one I want to use, because that's a little too close to the bell housing. So we went above this one here. We're gonna put a grommet on there, but we're gonna run the nitrous line right through there. Okay, and here she is. And then this right here is the fuel pump feed to the regulator right under here. That we're gonna change from there, but for right now we're gonna run this under. We're gonna hook it up here. We're gonna take this off. That's the purge solenoid. And we're gonna hook up the line to the nitrous solenoid feed. And screw it, okay. Alright, we'll make sure we tighten that up when we're ready. But now I'll have a bracket here holding this in place so it doesn't move and shake. But that's how the nitrous feed line is gonna go now, okay? Which is gonna split here. One line to that solenoid, the other line to the next solenoid. All right, so we'll continue from there, and now I'll see where we're gonna run this guy right here, because I want to put this shut off. This is gonna go inside. I want access of shutting down the nitrous bottle from inside. Of course, we could get an electronic bottle shut off valve, but you know, that's a little expensive. And to tell you the truth, the bottle's only going to be open when we need it, because we don't street race anymore. So that we leave for the street racing. So now this, here's the other end of the line. I'm going to somehow see where I can mount this, where I could get access to it from the cockpit, you know, from the driver's seat. We just ran the line on the inside of the car. Let me turn some. All right, well, so for right now, I got to first run it and see how much length we have, okay? But it's running right along the seat there, through that well. We're gonna tuck it up nice, and then we're probably gonna go take this off and go under here and feed it all the way to the front of the firewall. All right, but we need to first see if it's gonna reach. So before I feed any more of it, this is the one that's gonna hook up to the bottle. So let's go get the bottle. And we'll place the bottle there, and we'll hook up the line to it, and then we could, you know, pull the rest of this wire through that corner there and see if we're gonna make it up front, right? So let's get the bottle. I actually have an empty bottle here. You don't have to deal with the weight. Bottle of the. So we'll place it here. All right. It. See what I'm saying? Here's the bolt. Put the nut back on it. Sometimes it falls, sometimes it, you know, it falls into a place where you can't get it, so I usually put it back. Okay. Well, actually, we'll put one bolt here just to verify more for the bottle. Put a nut on here. Go through there. That'll hold the line in place, and we'll run it right down the side of that, and we'll go to the front. So now we'll see if I have enough line. I actually got an extension here with a union that I could, you know, make it a little longer if we need to, but as of right now, we don't know if we're gonna need it or not. So we're gonna go back to the front, and we're gonna see. We're gonna run it through that firewall and connect that valve. Well, actually, we ran it through the firewall, but we're going to connect that shut-off manual valve and see where we're going to be able to mount that under the dash.